The world of AI is not stopping, it's never going to stop. Just today we had two major announcements, one from Nvidia, one from Minimax. Last week was insane, including the release of Opus 4.8, to which we need to talk because there is a few elements that we need to look into, including how to vibe code in this kind of environment. But before we start, let's look at the news of today. And before we look at the news of today, please like and subscribe. I need your help to grow this channel. So let's look at the news. Nvidia announced the RTX Spark. This is 128 gigabyte of unified memory. This is not the DGX Spark, okay, the hardware, the microcomputer. This is a chip for laptop. Those laptops are going to be released by different company by the end of the year. But what does it mean this for us? Okay, this is a clear signal that there is demand for running local agentic AI. This is beautiful. If you're following this channel, you know how important this is. The thing about this Nvidia, about those laptops that are going to run this Nvidia chip is that they're going to be Windows laptops. Hopefully, they're going to be possible. It's going to be possible to add also Linux, so we have more open system. Now, the real excitement for me comes from Minimax. Okay, Minimax released the new model M3. This is not just a new model, it's also a different architecture. So a little bit of a background. I really like this. I have a subscription for Minimax, okay, a yearly subscription because I really believe in this model. I used to have, I still have Open Code, Open Claude running on it. I say I used to because I don't use Open Claude a lot at the moment. Use Hermes, and I run Hermes locally with another model with the Qwen 3.6 35 billion. So, but Minimax is my go-to for open code and other kind of agents because it's extremely good. So when I used to run Open Claude, at the beginning I was using Opus, okay, my Claude Max subscription. That was amazing. I was extremely happy until Anthropic decided, no, you can't use it anymore. Okay, so I moved to my fallback model that was Minimax. And I was extremely surprised how good it was. Okay, so this M2.7 is extremely good in tool calling, in actually keep working and fixing the problem. It doesn't stop, it just carry on working until the problem is fixed. Which I was extremely impressed about this determination of this model. So I really like it. Therefore, I got this the year subscription. Now, this new model, this new version, I'm really excited to find out. So it just came out, it's already out, so you can test it. But it's, I didn't test it enough, okay? It works, that's all I can say. Two things to consider. These, in the first, I think, month, the API is gonna be half price. I use subscription, which is better. Monthly exists, monthly and yearly subscription. This is not a sponsor, okay? So I'm not sponsored by Minimax. I'm just telling you, I like this model, I use it. And I haven't tested the M3, I'm gonna test it. But if you want to test it and you want to subscribe, I have a 10% discount link in the description. What's the difference here? So this model is, of course, 1 million token context window. Amazing. Another thing here is the technology is moved from the dense model to sparse attention. What does it mean? Now processing 1 million token is gonna be 15 times faster. How does it work? I'll give you a simple example to understand the technology, let's say. So let's believe that you are inside a party, okay? There is 10,000 people. You're on the stage and talk to these 10,000 people. Now, in a dense environment, okay, you need to look at all of them and look how they react to your speech. In a sparse attention, it's you just look at those handful of people. Okay, so it's less to look at, and therefore it's faster. Okay, that is simplifying. This is the difference of technology. Being faster change one important element. While it's running on the cloud, we don't care. Okay, just go, just do use your power, your CPU, doesn't matter. But when we run it locally, That's make a big difference. So this model at the moment is now being released to run locally, but in 10 days, the open weights are going to be released, and therefore we will be able to run locally. Of course, to run locally on a machine, we will need a quantized version. And from my understanding, in the 3-bit unsloth quantization, it's going to be the sweet point because it's 101 gigabyte of RAM will require that kind of size. So meaning on the MacBook M5 Max, it's possible to run it. On the DGX Spark, it's going to be possible to run. On the future new RTX Spark laptop, it's going to be possible to run it. You will need 2 RTX Pro 6000 cards. Pretty expensive, but that is, again, it's always the best solution. Okay, more expensive, but better. The Mac Studio M3 Ultra with 512 gigabyte of unified memory will be able to run 1 million context window, which is incredible about this. So let's look a little bit of numbers so we get a feeling of what we can expect when it's going to be run locally. So on the MacBook M5 Max, we can have 128,000 context window, which is big enough for doing coding, agentic work, and so on. And we should expect around 40 tokens per second. 40 tokens per second is something that is possible to work without getting frustrated. Okay, you can chat, you can work, and so on. So it's pretty good spot. Now, I'm not guaranteeing this thing. I don't know. Okay, need to be tested. But that is what we can expect. And this is around $6,000, almost $7,000, okay, in this kind of machine. The DGX Spark also can run it. Okay, I have an equivalent here, somewhere here. And this is the Asus GX10. So when it's gonna come out, I'm gonna test it. What I'm expecting is to have around 20-25 tokens per second, which you go into the frustration speed, okay? Meaning we, as an interaction, when you chat with an AI, you want something that is above 30, okay? And faster it is, better it is. But you want something above 30, ideally in the between 50 and 100. If it's over 100, is even better. But that kind of speed is what's required. So 25, you are the really limit of what is bearable, but we will test and see. But the point here is the DGX Spark, an equivalent, at around $4,700. So much cheaper than the MacBook. The 2 RTX Pro 6000, because you need 2 because of the memory problem. On those one, though, you will be able to run a 500,000 context window, much bigger. Okay, that is pretty good, and probably something around 50 or plus tokens per second. The cost is gonna be 70,000, if not 20,000, just for the card plus the computer. So we're going into something extremely expensive, but that is one of the best solution. For the Mac Studio M3 Ultra, it's 1 million token context window, with 512 gigabytes of RAM. We should expect something between 30 and 40 tokens per second. Again, above the frustration threshold, but at a price of $10,000-$15,000. So that is, as you can see, it's really complex. So again, to decide which hardware. The hope now is for the new Mac Studio M5 Ultra. Okay, that probably is going to be the best model. I mean, the best hardware for this model, because you can have 1 million context window at probably 50, 60, 70 tokens per second. Incredible. This would be amazing. That would be the ultimate system. But again, 10, 15K, okay, so it's extremely expensive. But consider also that you don't need the 512 gigabytes of RAM. You can stop maybe at 256, or if there is a step, 300 and whatever number would be even better. But that is the thing, okay? So we will see when this hardware come out and this software come out. So if you want to know, I'm gonna check. So like and subscribe and follow this channel, because I'm gonna check these on my hardware and see how it performs, because this model is another level. It's not like your 35 billion. This is much bigger, much more powerful, and extremely good in coding. You will see, there's going to be a link in the description where I share the more data about this model and the architecture. But the benchmark for this Minimax M3 is really good. Okay, you can start comparing these to the frontier models, which is incredible if you think about that. You can run it locally. Now, going back to what I was saying at the beginning about this Opus 4.8. So why do we need to talk about this? Because there is a few elements that we need to consider. One is, a lot of people are saying, I don't see any difference between the 4.7, 4.8. Some people say, I don't even see the difference between the 4.6. This is happening because we, as a human, we can't feel the difference between 5-10% change. Okay, we can't. So in reality, we don't see it. It's like when you have a cup of coffee, you put 10% more or less sugar. You don't see it. You can't feel it. It's impossible. So because this is our human limits, okay, that kind of change, nothing changes, okay. We need sometimes a much bigger step. So while those companies keep improving, we don't see it. One of the strategies that they have, this is forced by the idea of OpenAI, is to release something as soon as it's ready. Okay, and not stay behind. So what is creating now? An environment that everybody is just moving a little bit of improvement. Yeah, after a few months, you can start feeling it. But in those little steps, you don't feel it. But what they see, that the reason why they do it, it's also because they have a moral reason, let's say. Okay, so everybody get prepared. Okay, but the real financial reason is because now Opus, just with this release, that we can't see any difference, but on the benchmark they're now better. Okay, now they are much better, just the 2-3% better, and therefore now it's the competition start again. Okay, now they are not second anymore, now they're first. On some benchmark they're on the top, and some other there of course is GPT 5.5, but that is the game that they do. Okay, it's all marketing, all about getting the most powerful, play on the insecurity of human, say, okay, now I got this, this is more powerful, I need to use the most powerful one. So that is what is happening with the model. But what is more interesting is the harness, the architecture that is actually running those models. So it's called the Claude Code. Claude Code is incredible, getting better and better. Okay? It's incredible infrastructure, incredible harness, which is, in some way you can say that is better than Codex. Codex has a different philosophy, so it's not really, you can compare directly, but Claude Code is more advanced, let's say. What they added is a lot of functionality, but one thing that added that is insane is that now you can have up to 1,000 parallel agents working together. Okay, this is insane. So for a few reasons, think about, already Opus is extremely expensive to run. Okay, now you can run it 1,000 times in parallel. Okay, so the cost could just go insane, but also the speed. So now again, who has a lot of money can do so much more. Okay, that is what is happening. But we need to talk about doing this much more and doing it faster, because I see this trend and it's happening. So I want to discuss about vibe coding and coding in general with those AI. So AI is clearly going insane. Okay, what it does in one day is probably the production of a few weeks, maybe even a month of human work. So a 24-hour agent that is working, and it's possible to have it working for that amount non-stop, okay, it's probably creating a month of human work. So what it means that now we are going faster and faster. The speed is insane. The mistake that we're making, okay, we as a human, we think, okay, this environment is fast, I need to go fast so I can leverage this fast environment. Okay, fast. Wrong. Okay, let me explain why. We as a human, we are not machines. We are really connected to time. Okay, time for us is not cycles. No, it doesn't work in this way. Time for us is really time. Okay, we are part of this. Our brain works within time. The beauty here is the friction of time, the friction of work allow us to find our identity, to find our creative styles, to find, understand problem to a deeper level. We can understand something right away in a second, okay? We need a journey to get there. That journey, that friction allow us to go higher and higher with our thinking, with clarity and so on. So for us, time is important. So because we are working in an environment that now we can do in one day, 1 month of work, what it means for us is not that we need to go faster. It means that now we can afford to go slower. Okay, that is the key. That is the non-intuitive approach to this problem. Because really feel like, it's going fast, let's go faster. Okay, that is the mistake, that is the trap. Because you go faster means you're not thinking anymore. Okay, you cut the amount of thinking, the amount of analysis, the amount of the ability for you to inject your creative style, your creative DNA within your work. Okay, your high level thinking, your high level strategy needs time, needs friction to be developed. So now that we go so fast, okay, we can actually slow down and architect better, think better about what we want to achieve. When we do, then we can delegate to AI. So spending instead of 2 hours, 4 hours, okay, we double it. Okay, it's nothing's gonna change. Okay, because those hours you will gain back. Because if you don't think enough, if you don't plan enough, you're gonna allow AI to work for days, which is a month of work, okay, in one day. Maybe think about 2-3 days, okay. This is insane amount of work that you're gonna do. If you don't align the AI, the project, everything with you, then you are just drifting at an incredible speed. So the moment of you realize this, that your planning can be slowed down, your work, your human side can slow down, so you can leverage the speed of this AI, then you're winning this game. So, and please, please experiment on this. Okay, spending more time is gonna be the way that you win. Slowing down is the way that you win. It's completely anti-intuitive. Okay, because everybody's pushing you. There is this idea of going faster and faster. You see the Nvidia CEO telling everybody, let's see the amount of token you spend in a month, because this is the metrics to see how good you are. Okay, there is this OpenAI giving those badges to people. This person used 2 trillion token or whatever. Okay, and say, this is so good. Okay, all of them trying to push this narrative of going faster and faster. And you see the exact mentality inside those model. Okay, they are pushing for productivity. Let's do more, let's do faster. Okay, that basically let's do slop code. That we stop this dynamic by taking control. If we take control on through ourselves, what we control, it is us, our mind. That is what we need to do. I hope that that you try this, because you will see the difference. How we should do with when we do vibe coding. Okay, it doesn't mean that we need to do 100% human then 100% AI. In reality, is the human AI interaction is amazing, it's beautiful. That we need to stay in control and slow down and add the friction needed for us to develop something better, more precise. So the idea here is, you write a software, you strategize with AI, okay? You see, you define all the functionality. Everything is well designed and decided before you write the code. Okay, don't write the code unless you have a clear plan. And it's tough because you say, okay, I give you this, just do this app, okay? Just make a first-person shooting game. And you hope for the best. Okay, this is really the slot machine. Then you say, okay, this was not good, do it again. Do it again. Okay, that is the slot machine until you get something good. Now I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. So more than often we are using this AI as a slot machine. Instead, slow down, okay, and add those friction. The friction is painful. That is why we go into the slot machine, okay, scenario, because the friction of working, it's of thinking, it's it's tough because you see so much productivity the moment that you shut up. Okay, you shut up and give to the AI, and the AI produce. But if you want to stay in control of what is being produced, if you want to add quality, if you want to have your taste in the production, if you don't want to have the exact same software, because everybody acts in the same way, so the output using the same AI is going to be more or less the same. The most plausible, probable next token. Okay, if we don't control that, the token generation, okay, we are going to all have the same product. That is what I wanted to say about this. So an element is extremely important on how to deal with this reality. Now, there is another thing that I said that we need to look into, which is the open source, why each one of us should have an open source solution. So think about the danger that we are going into. Now you have your business. Your business is going to leverage AI, and it's going to leverage AI more and more. Now, you connect your business to someone else's business model, okay? Anthropic, OpenAI, Google, whatever, okay? You connect to them. Now, they control you because you need their token, okay? They can change the price of this token. But not just, you say, okay, it's gonna be more expensive, but I'm gonna make more money. No, it's gonna be a level, kind of different environment because the AI is gonna have different kind of price. The problem that you're going to see is for your business perspective, what kind of intelligence you can afford to stay at. Because the top intelligence is going to get more and more expensive. We see this with Mythos, okay? It's not being released yet, but they said they're going to be releasing. And they said also they're going to be much more expensive than Opus. Now, if you want the top intelligence, it's going to be more and more expensive. Now you link what you can do with your company to someone else's business model, where they can change the price and price you out for the model that you're using to move you to the lower tier model. You see the problem here. So you are giving the keys of your business to someone else, which you don't control. So what is the solution? In reality, it's not like there is, okay, I'm going to go 100% local. I mean, in some scenario makes sense. But in most scenario, what you need to have a local model, local system that you can trust, that is there yours, that you has a cost that you can put in your business plan. Okay, it's predictable, it's there, you understand it, versus a system that there is a risk. So on that risk, you need to measure that risk and say, okay, I'm going to put 30%, for example, on risk there, but not 100%. So why you do 30% is a number just I'm throwing there. Each one of us needs to do their math. Okay, what I'm saying here is, if you put a limited part, a smaller part, you are always in control somehow. Because you might move to an alternative company, you might move to 100% local, but you've been leveraging an AI from those frontier models. So having these two scenarios is extremely important. Another thing to consider, most businesses in reality don't have the right to share their clients' data with another corporation. Okay, that is not possible. That's what you should consider. So when you have a subscription with those corporations, OpenAI, Google, and so on, you're sharing the data with them. They can train on it, they can read it, they can use it. That is the thing. You need to be sure that you actually have the right to do so. In most scenario, you don't. Most scenario, especially if you work with the legal thing, with students, especially underage students, with medical stuff, and you can't share this data. Okay, you can't share someone else's medical details with a corporation. So it's legally not possible. So in that case, you need to use your local model, your local AI, which are getting better and better. Like I said, the Minimax, it can be compared, is inferior, okay, but can be compared to those frontier models. We have DeepSeek version 4 that also can run on local machine, that can be compared to those large language model, frontier model. So we are talking about on DeepSeek 1.6 trillion parameters. Okay, huge. So that is where we are at the moment. So I want you to consider those elements because those are important. But I want to be also tell you one challenge. At the moment, the open source harnesses are not as good as the cloud ones. Okay, I'm talking about the what's the name? Cloud Code and Codex. Incredible, difficult to compare, but they're gonna move. The problem here, what we have, there's not enough people, not enough money going into the open source harnesses. So we have one of the best system at the moment for coding is Open Code. Is the most used ones. The best agent that we have out there is Hermes. I use Hermes with Quen 3.6 35 billion running on my machine locally. Amazing, incredible, always there, always available. My data is always there. Okay, that is what I'm talking about. It's understanding which model to do what. So on coding, you can have a series of models. It depends what you need to do. Okay, you don't always need this top frontier model to do something that is not needed. Okay, so understand architecture, build something that allows you to be more flexible and more in control. You can't put your business in the hand of a corporation where their business model is not aligned with yours. It's actually at the opposite side. They want to take as much as money from you and giving you the least amount of token they can afford giving you. Okay, that is their business model. Exactly the opposite of yours, where you want a free token, unlimited free token. Okay, that's your desire. They give you the opposite. Okay, we need to meet in the middles. Okay, at the moment the middle is this one. Okay, it's always changing. The price of those tokens are going up, and the intelligence of those tokens is going up, so you see some benefit. I'm not saying that there's no benefit, okay, but the direction is clear, and at one point you're gonna feel like, okay, I can't afford this model anymore, I'm gonna have to go for a lower model. So they are not gonna tell you, yeah, you're not my client anymore. They're just gonna give you less intelligent token model. So you might be gonna be stuck with Opus for the rest of your life, okay, let's say. And while the people that have more money, they're gonna move to the Mythos. Okay, that is the idea. So build your business with sovereignty, and that is my advice. One last thing. We're part of a community, and this community have 5 calls a week where we learn from each other. We address a different aspect. Today is Monday. We talk about Resonant OS. Resonant OS is the environment, the harness that we are building as a community. This is built on something that you can call it similar to Perplexity AI. Okay, so really well connected to the browser. So the agent work on the browser. There's a lot of add-ons that you can develop yourself and allow this system to have more tools and more abilities, more software embedded, and so on. This is what we are working today, Monday. Then we have Tuesday, that is the academy. So it's where we learn together. Then there is Wednesday, where we talk about AI and technology. Thursday, we talk about the human aspect of human AI collaboration. We also talk about the community itself. We talk about the DAO connected to the community. On Friday, we just it's a super geeky day where we talk about automation. So the community is under the philosophy of augmentatism. Link in the description. Have a look. This is the idea of using AI to augment us instead of replace human, which is again the opposite of those large corporations. So my invitation here is, if you are into this kind of content, like and subscribe. If you want to be active, okay, be building together, join the Discord community. If you want to know more about what I'm being explained here and the past, we have the Substack article, deep dive article, link in the description. If you want to have a 10% discount on Minimax, link in the description. Thanks for staying until the end, and this next video is something that you like, I'm sure. Ciao.